of land. So we're at the point where we have in the eminent domain process, assuming everything goes right on October 1st or 2nd, October 1, we will get our land. So we haven't decided how much you're gonna pay for it, but we'll get a land and then we'll be able to move forward with bidding that job. Ideally, we'd like to see that job under construction by early next year to get that open. The reason for that is, can you imagine what it's gonna be like trying to turn the 4 lanes down by the outlet mall into 6 lanes wide? So the scope of that job is to get from 301 to Factory Shops Boulevard, get that 6 lanes wide, 3 south, 3 north, and get 4 lanes from Factory Shops Boulevard up to 29th, where the road that goes the back door to the Igloo, and install a signal at that point. Not much happens between there and Mendoza, but I mean, that's the focus of what we're trying to do. We would like we'd like the relief valve to go in. I'd like 60th to be done, snap my fingers, and nobody wants to work there right now anyway, but it's gotta get done. So we're moving as fast. The eminent domain for the mall, that, as you can imagine, most of the widening goes into the former Kmart side. We're there. We're at the finish line. I need some appraisals to come back in on the final title work so we can make our offers and get a court date scheduled for the eminent domain. It's gonna be deeply pricey, but it has to happen, otherwise there's just nothing else you're gonna be able to do there. I am expecting to still get an eminent domain date this calendar year. If it doesn't happen, it just delays the project a little bit more. The dream is, we asked our contractors, could it be possible to say, here's your job, you get 9 months. You start January 15th and you gotta be done November 10th. Nobody bid. Nobody thinks, there's too many unknowns, so there's next to no chance that full construction can be done outside of at least one holiday season, which is why we're all thinking it's gonna be wonderful, and hence also hoping that segment 2 may be done so we actually have a relief valve to go there. Not the Buckeye Road's getting some attention out there, as you can tell if anybody drives around. A lot of neighborhoods being built up on Buckeye Road. This map is really just talking about, I have one true project, which is the part that's labeled here in purple. The rest of it, every neighborhood where they make a connection onto a road has to improve their intersection, at least where their roads connect. They're responsible for their turn lanes. They're responsible for the little bit of widening that's on their front. Within what was IA Manatee, the Lennar development that's up there, we had a deal with them when they got their approval. They are designing us a 4-lane improvement, not building, designing a 4-lane improvement of along their entire frontage of Buckeye Road. Included in their requirement, and they're fixing to get started on it right now, is they are the design of a 4-lane. We only build our thoroughfares as divided roadways, so they are going to build the eastbound 2 lanes. So you'll get a fully improved built road with the sidewalk on that side from Fort Hammer over to 301. That'll be what is included with that as it goes on.
Do you take questions during your presentation?
We can, unless we start running too late.
Okay, with Lennar in Prosperity Lakes, they did all the roads for homes that are gonna be sold 2-3 years down the road. Why wasn't it a higher priority to do segment 2 with Lennar?
Wow, we gotta go back to development 101, sir. I'd have to, that doesn't mean an insult. That's just the way things
Well, that's
are done.
fine.
The way things are done here in Florida. I mean, the revenue stream is based off the impact fee. The impact fee is delayed until the occupancy certificate is issued. So, or when the building permit for the actual home gets issued. So construction is always in a lieu. Concurrency was removed by the state of Florida, so I don't have a means, once the land has been given zoning, there's not a means by the county to legally stop a development from moving forward. So, I was gonna say, I'm giving you tons of excuses that are legal, but it doesn't give you the positive answer of why the heck did we do
Yeah, I
this.
just don't, as a comparison, like in North River Ranch, Fort Hammer was done before any construction of the home started. So I don't understand why
That's an
Buckeye.
on-site road that they wouldn't have been able to build without that road. Moccasin Wallow was in the same condition that Buckeye is, except it's used by everybody and then some to get access to the interstate, so it got a capital project.
Yeah, that's a question with that, it's probably out of your area, but have there been conversations with people that maybe to create another entrance and exit ramp off of Buckeye Road, because now you're shutting.
You mean another to the interstate?
Yep.
There's an interchange being studied, that's basically right at the Manatee, Hillsborough County line up there, that would get you between, I forgot what the next one is, it's, thank you, it's one of the,
Ruskin. Yeah.
the Sun City Center exit, thank you, the Sunset, there's one right in the middle of it that's being studied, it's a joint effort between, because it'll probably land just into Hillsborough County, but it's kind of where Fort Hammer is proposed to go into Hillsborough and hit the interstate.
Mile marker 234, so if you're driving.
Is where that's being studied right now to get another, interchange there. But Buckeye Road itself statistically is too close to Moccasin Wallow. The state will never get approval from the feds to put an interchange there. Boy, a busy map. So who loves roundabouts? So the another big piece, of land, and let me get you oriented, I mean, tough. That's the, kind of the golf course, Buffalo Creek Golf Course, so you're talking all the land that's between Erie Road, north of the railroad tracks up to Moccasin Wallow, generally known as Perry's Lakes. It's got several things there. What people don't know about it is there's thoroughfares that are planned to go through there. So Carter Road is intended and actually is halfway down. I think it's already down all the way to Buffalo Canal. It's comes the rest of the way down to Erie. It meets up, and so this will celebrate certain people or tick other people off. It aligns with Harrison Ranch Boulevard. So in the end, you'll be able to go from Old Tampa Road on Harrison to Silverleaf Boulevard, cross 301 Harrison Ranch Boulevard, across Erie, up Carter Road, across Moccasin Wallow, and up to Buckeye. So Carter would ultimately get you all the way from there. Similar thing with Sawgrass. Sawgrass cuts through that Perry's Lakes development. It gets you from Erie Road eventually with another development north of Moccasin Wallow. It gets you all the way to Buckeye Road too. This is the instilling of what is intended to be the public road grid. Even if the majority of the side roads are gated or private or public or not, they still won't get you nowhere. Those are your through roads of what's going on. In this south section, to connect to Erie Road, they're meant to be done at roundabouts. Keep in mind, we're getting ahead of the needs. So what we've done in the past has always been these major roads where you have no subdivisions that have roads that go anywhere, so you gotta use the major road to get anywhere. They get together, eventually somebody needs a signal. So if we plan accordingly and do these things ahead of time, that these are always gonna be intersections that need to be controlled. We're planning on putting a roundabout where they connect on Erie Road. This one is a need, everybody knows, drawing a blank, Bradenton Christian School is planning to go here. We've, I don't think they've started construction, but I'm not positive, but this is one of their main entrances that's gonna feed the school. This roundup, anytime you have a school, kind of like the Parrish High School off of Fort Hammer, you just need to be able to, you need a signalized intersection or some ability to deal with the school. This is, and these other intersections in those neighborhoods, that's where their main roads are dumping out on the road. Eventually, somewhere in history going forward, those were gonna need to be controlled intersections. We had the chance and the developer was willing to plan ahead, and those would be roundabouts, so they do not have to be modified going forward. Erie Road east-west, so we used to be all cussing about the one that was north-south. Yes, it didn't get widened to 4 lanes, but it got a very good improvement and seems to have helped dramatically with at least a continuous sidewalk, some shoulders, and a lot of just, it feels safer with the turn lanes and what's going on there. Erie Road, all the way from the intersection at 69th Street over by Parrish Charter Academy back to 301. It's in the process of being designed to be another one of those divided 4-lane roadways. We do not have full construction funding for this project, but it's still moving forward with design. The 2 things that are a certainty are, oh, TV doesn't do that, are the connections of Carter and Sawgrass. So when you would see, so don't call me a liar, when you see the CIP, you will see Erie Road between 69th and Martha. You'll see some cash that's in the capital improvement program. It is our participation to pay the developer to construct that roundabout and build enough of the road to get across the railroad. They're building the road coming south, they're building the connection for us. So our intention right now, assuming we can get our permits from FPL, is they will build it for us. And we would pay them as a reimbursement. So that's why that's listed here as a project. From Martha back to 301, that effort to start acquiring right of way to build that road started back when we were extending Fort Hammer through and the high school was coming in. So we were much further along. A lot of the land already was taken care of friendly, didn't have to go to eminent domain. We do have all the land for that. We are hopeful. We've seen prices start to plateau off and maybe come down a little bit. We're gonna float this job out for bid for widening from Martha, 4-laning it from Martha over to 301. We're pretty sure we got the funds, but we'll have to wait and see how the bids come in to do that. Another reason that we're pushing that is that northwest corner of Fort Hammer and Erie on the north side of the tracks is gonna be the new State College of Florida campus. So eventually that'll be a good draw, big draw for traffic as well. So we're trying to stay as far out there as we can ahead of it. Fort Hammer Road, hard not to talk North County a little bit without Fort Hammer Road. Won't even say Upper Manatee. We're under work. The vast majority of the work that you've seen now is all prepping so you can go do road work. It's all the utility work. We had to make a decision. We're replacing the giant water line that goes under there. Some places we have to move force main, sanitary force main to make room for the water line that's going in there. So that's why all the traffic's being shifted around. Fort Hammer Road. A major study was underway, got completed in June. On schedule, got completed in June. So we could move forward to formal design. The bridge is a little bit, so we break it up in our project listing into two projects. The bridge, it's not widening the bridge, it's building a twin next to it. So, drawing a blank on my side, the sidewalk's on there. Yes, we're building the bridge that's to the west of it. We built the northbound lanes that are there now. The new bridge would be the southbound lanes. And there's the other project that would be widening the road from the bridge up to 301. So that is an unfunded project right now. It is funded through design. So we will have a shovel-ready, less land, a fully designed project when we get there. The thing everybody's hanging our hat on right now, it's still in play. We had submitted through the Biden administration. Didn't make the cut, but they didn't issue the awards on these grant applications, so the Trump administration gets to decide. So we were hoping maybe with that change, Florida would end up with a little better luck, but we don't know yet. That would help the board with a lot of decisions. If you got a free $60 million from somebody else, it might be worth it to endure a little pain or something to find the rest of it. But it's one of those jobs, unless you do the whole thing, you're not reaping much benefit. So you kind of got to do the road with the bridge. You can get started on it, but eventually the road's going to have to come. The north piece, I forgot why I did this other than just please beat us. We planned ahead with the idea to make sure that Fort Hammer was continuous. It was a thoroughfare. It would link between Moccasin-Wallow and Buckeye Road. It's all being built by developers. Everybody that's using it is the development. And then Manatee County School District comes in and puts a school at the middle school, and it might even be starting as a K-5 right now, before the people up in Lennar. So Lennar's the one that's supposed to build that road. So if anybody in Lennar is ticked off that they can't drive to that school because that road's not there, blame Lennar. Because they've been on the notice to build that road, but it will happen and that will connect.
Lennar promised to the public that that stretch in red was going to be completed by the summer of 2024. Then they took the billboard down announcing that. Who's expediting Lennar to make sure that happens in a timely manner? Because they did tens of miles of road within both developments for homes that aren't going to be sold for the next 2 to 3 years, when they could have had that through. And there's been a rash of accidents on Buckeye and 301. If this was open, those accidents could potentially have been avoided.
Call it tail light, or what do you call it, hindsight 2020, in a development agreement where someone is building it and the predominant demand is for them. We didn't have a means to go back and put an or else in the statement, because the original development would be, you want your people to have access to Moccasin-Wallow because that's where the on-ramp is. It just unfortunately there wasn't an or else included in development agreement that says if you don't do it by this date, you have a penalty or something. It just wasn't.
Okay, but you
included
do
in the
have a
contract.
legal signed agreement
They're
with Lennar?
responsible to absolutely build it.
They're not gonna walk away from it?
No.
Okay. And do we have any timetable on it?
I can dig more up, the plans. Yeah, just the other thing that slowed it down was you had two different developers that don't get along very well. Over half of that land came out of North River Ranch, and they had to agree on the exact alignment and stormwater usage, so they had to play nice together.
So
Of
just,
which I had no business in that deal, unfortunately.
so just so you're aware, when I go to Lennar and ask them the status, they blame the county. They say it's a permitting issue. and
When
they're-
they finally started after a year and a half of waiting, yes, their plans just got approved.
Okay.
So construction hopefully would be imminent this fall. And Moccasin Wallow, it will get done. But the good thing is we have, at first I was hoping as fast as I was trying to get all these jobs out to bid, we didn't quite go fast enough so I could have every section under construction at once. So at either end, obviously west of the interstate and generally from Fort Hammer back to 301, we're basically done. So the active stuff of what we're working on is what is currently labeled here. I didn't have the most updated map here, but segments 2 and 3. 2 is definitely under construction. 3 feels like it's under construction because of all the development that's going on within that section. Very little of that is us at the moment. It's a lot of utility relocating, getting done in there, but you can see what the intent of what we're heading towards. We're heading towards that divided roadway. A lot of, sometimes you might look like we're moving the utilities a lot further, and you might see it on other things. I remind you, Moccasin Wallow is a future 6-lane roadway, so at some point in time, that would be 6 lanes that look just like University Parkway or very similar to University Parkway. It's not stopping at 4 lanes, but we hope it's several years, many years into the future. Yes, sir.
So that, I live in the Bayview, Del Webb community over there, and I wanna tell you, with all the building that's going on that road, I don't know how they can think that they need 6 lanes on that road, and I'm told by all our research and people that we've been doing, we're in a lawsuit with everything now, with other reasons, but I don't know how, you gotta have 6 lanes. They wanna put a Walmart there, they wanna put a Sam's Club there, they wanna put, I don't know how that road can operate. I mean, I attended a lot of the commission meetings, and I heard George Cruz say that he avoids that road, every chance he can, because it's so dangerous, and it's not wide enough, and they're building, and it's just dragging, and I know the hurricane set everybody back, but it's dragging on, and it's just, it's a hell place to drive down, it
Yeah,
really is.
let's get it finished and get everything working the way it is. Your extra north-south connections, hopefully, will offer some, grid alternatives as well. Right now, yeah, with nothing going anywhere, everybody has to use Moccasin Wallow. It's the only way that goes east or west. So, I understand what you mean, but it was hard just to get it funded. That was a long road. That was over 100 and, by the time all 4 segments are in there. that
And
was
there is
over
no
100.
funding for the 6 lanes,
That was
right, at this time.
Well, it's not even designed.
It's not even designed,
Not
so
even
it's only
designed,
4,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the best they're gonna get at the
It's
moment.
over $130 million investment, or right now, that's underway. I don't know who was first.
Well, I live in Regency Oaks, and it's like playing Frogger every time I try to get out.
Why do you go there?
How much longer before we get a light there?
It will come.
But I got till the end of 2027. I can't-
It'll be a lot
somebody's
sooner,
gonna
it'll
die before then.
be a lot sooner than that, but I wouldn't, if turning left from your front door is that important, I would use Buffalo Road.
So that doesn't.
I
work.
waited
Buffalo Road.
15
How do
extra
we get
minutes to
Buffalo
go
Road?
around.
But hang on, one question at a time, but,
I know, and I do that, but it does take me an extra 15 minutes to go around that way.
With all
That's
due
just funny.
respect, I'm a fellow Regency Oaks community member.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, it's taking your life in your hands. I'm trying to go to work in the morning. Today, you can't even get out, and so Commissioner, when you guys are listening to the planning reports and the developers up there, and you see the traffic studies, those traffic studies don't take an account for, it's quadrupled with semis, dump trucks that
Yeah,
are
because
not
it's
following.
the in-state study, it doesn't
Well,
look
you
at
know,
that.
They're not following speed limits. You take your lights in your hand to the left, it takes you 20 minutes to get off the off ramp from the
Right.
highway, you can't make it left turn.
And now that they've got that whole area across the street from us, you got dump trucks turning left as you're turning left. So you gotta deal with the dump trucks turning left, you gotta deal with these people coming in, you got these people. And it started to get better when you put the light at the intersection, it slowed it down a little, and then at Carter Road, it slowed it down, but it's not enough. It's too much traffic.
We're investing.
We need a light at 71st Avenue East now.
It's
It's,
temporary. I just think somebody's gonna get killed.
The other thing we're trying to figure out is, can we limit or direct some of the construction traffic, in the meantime,
Yeah,
to try to
we can get
use,
rid of it.
to see if we can get them either to turn, at Buffalo, or to come in off of entrances
still ain't
on
gonna help
Carter,
us.
so,
Yes, it's not enough though.
just to do what we can and, getting moving towards the interim signal. I think spring is, where it's probably more realistic, but we're moving on it as quick as we can. At 71st.
The construction's made it get a lot worse, but it was bad even before the construction. And in terms of people trying to jump it out, I've seen so many people almost get T-boned and really hurt at that intersection because you're sitting there for so long trying to get out. As they've mentioned, people are not going the speed limit along that road. So it's just, at some point, it's gonna be a dangerous accident that happens there. I mean, because there's no control whatsoever, that's only been made worse with the construction. Especially since they don't have the control on their side, oftentimes they pull out. They don't have like a turn light on their end, so they're just, diving across traffic as well.
And we got 765 apartments going across the street, plus the hospital.
Yeah.
And then yesterday morning, there was a sheriff from our development in Regency Oaks that actually directed traffic for people to get out the other morning. That's how bad it is. That he doesn't even work there, but he was directing traffic for people to get out. So, I mean, it's bad.
I was at a meeting about 2 years ago that we invited you to come and try and get out onto Moxawalla Road from 71st Avenue East at 4:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon. I'd love for you to come and do that.
All right, guys.
You gotta be careful though,
Wait,
because I
so
guarantee
wait,
you're
so
gonna get.
I already heard this gentleman
killed.
right here, he said the right thing. He said the right thing. Can you do it? Somebody got impatient and will turn in front of somebody. What is the root cause of that accident, sir?
Waiting 15 minutes to try and make a left turn.
And then
But,
he
but
sprints
still,
behind them.
but still, stay calm and think about it. Does taking a risk mean there are other options and other things that can be done? You can go right. Nobody wants to hear that from you. Nobody wants to hear go right, go into, Carter and come around. Your neighborhood connects to Buffalo Road that takes you to a signal. Everybody is only talking about the thing that's the most convenient. You will get a signal. It will come as fast, it will come,
When?
it come as
That's
fast
what
as
we
possible.
wanna know.
Yeah.
When?
We've been patient, I don't think it should go till 2:10.
You're gonna have some
You-
bad accidents.
How many signals have been added on the Moxawalla Road in the last 3 years? And how much effort that went to all of them? And the interchange, as busy, and that was our top priority. We're there, we're at the cusp. I don't know, did it get turned on yet, but it'll get turned on very soon. You're the next one.
Is it a money issue, is it a time issue, what is the reason that it takes so long, what takes it so long? Why does it wait a whole year to the end of 2027? And how, what, is it the money thing, is it?
So
Is it that you don't have the people to go put it up? What is the, why do you have to wait a whole year? Because it says it's not gonna be done until the end of 2027.
we will get the interim signal up far earlier than that. It will be up in the spring of 26.
So, there was a very
So-
good question, and I think we
And
do need to, go ahead and then I'll come back.
It was just me, with all due respect, like in theory, right, that sounds good, making the right turn and getting out of there, but in practice, an overwhelming majority of people aren't going to do that.
Because it takes more time.
Because it takes more time and all of that, but,
But that's unfortunately, I'm just saying the facts. When somebody wants to come back, yes, the accident, the traffic demand is the reason a signal is needed. The net reason for an accident, is it justified for somebody to close their eyes, floor it, and say, I've waited long enough?
I'm not saying it's justified or not, I'm
I-
saying in practice, that's what happens. And it's a
But if you
dangerous
got-
intersection.
Plus
because
the
of-
speed that the people are driving down that road.
Well, I I don't mean to interrupt, but you've got 3 people in front of you and you have to get to a hospital, and you've gotta wait for that person to wait 15 minutes, and then you gotta wait for the next person to wait 15 minutes, and you gotta wait for the third person to wait 15 minutes. How much time is it gonna take you to get to the hospital? And you can't turn around because you're already stuck in that, you're already
Well,
stuck
we're
in
building a
that.
hospital closer, so.
Oh, I'll just walk over there, but I dog to the cars. That makes sense.
But use
Which,
Buffalo
you
Road
think, if you
too.
think Moccasin Waller's
You've had
got
your
some
hand
problems
up.
now, they can put a hospital on it.
I'm just curious about the justification, so Regency Oaks has been there since roughly 97, 98. They're one of the oldest developments in that area. Why are we the last to go light? There are 5 other lights that have gone out.
Look at a good map, go to Google Maps, look at it, your development is very small compared to the areas that have been connected, and you have another alternative, so it was supply.
You keep
Through
saying
the back
another
of our
alternative,
development,
it's
and
not
through a different
another
development.
alternative.
So it's.
And we're
it's
here to
out of
talk
our-
about more things than, unless this is a Regency Oaks HOA meeting, I was gonna move on.
That's what I came here for, though.
Yeah.
And I want a light.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
appreciate that there's
That's what a
not
lot
an
of us
easy
came
answer
here
to
for.
this, and I like what you said, because I thought of that too. If you can direct at least some of the construction traffic to turn at Buffalo Road as it can.
It's only something I can hopefully try
Yeah,
to
can we-
improve in the interim,
Well-
cause I heard that they're turning left in, and for some unknown reason, they're turning left out. That doesn't need to happen, they need to come out on Carter Road or something.
Yeah, the ship may have sailed before our development, but thinking future, if you can build a
I don't know why they're not
construction frontage road,
using Buffalo Road
Yeah,
as
let's-
an entrance
let's
for
be
the majority
creative.
of the truck traffic to remove some of that, cause it blocks your visibility, and it takes all storage on the roadway. That's why we're talking with the development, that's the hospital and the apartments, to see if we get the truck traffic to use different entrances.
And that construction and traffic, I mean, we've already got kind of we're behind with the infrastructure based on, you know, we put 10,000 houses out here and didn't add lanes to our roads and things like that. We know this is the concurrency
He's
issue.
my other patient.
It's the way that we do it. Impact fees help pay for those roadways, but we can't collect the impact fees until the construction is completed and they have certificates of occupancy. And by that time, we've probably got 5,000 more houses coming up on that. But the other thing is that when you try and fix so many things at once, the same problems that we're very fortunate to have a very high employment rate in our county now. But that means we have a lot of work that we're going from the same trade pool. The same thing with our supply chain. So we have multiple projects, and this is one of the things that we talked about when we were looking at the budgets and the CIP projects. It's that you have so many things going on all at the same time that use the same type of crews, the same type of equipment, the same type of supplies. And one of the things I asked with the budget is, can we complete one before we go on to the next one? Because I think that is a problem that we have with the traffic and the planning in Parrish and in North River area. We have the best of intentions, but we can't do certain things until the development happens. And then we have so many different projects coming on that are basically a lot of times with the same contractor. And if he's got this piece of equipment that needs to be used over here, and it's not available to do the work over here, there's a lot of staging and timing. And I think had a lot of problems with Moccasin Wallow like that, because we have had some where we did trade out, contracts, but basically you've got a lot going on at one time. I asked them, when we came to the budget, to pick those things that we can complete, okay, and get them done. And I think that's just unfortunate, we had too many things going on at the same time, which with traffic, that means it's gonna affect all the areas. You had another question?
As I say, this young guy.
Please go, yeah.
Yes, sir.
My beloved neighbors of Regency, of Fairways and of Preserve. It's a very well solution. We have to put up with this, no problem. It's an excellent exit to go through the subdivision Regency and the Fairway. We have a traffic light there by public, a traffic light by the highway. Was the, yes, needs a patient though. If we don't have a patient, then we'll have a problem. But let's solve the problem, not fight,
Thank you,
solve
sir.
the problem.
Two things, for clarity's sake, did I hear you say spring of 2026 is when you're estimating the load for that?
Yeah, which you want, our interim signals, we're paying for it, designing it, doing everything within the segment 3 project. It's such peanuts on the scope of the job, you won't see a standalone, statement. So right now, we were trying to figure out the analysis that we did thus far, could we put it in once? We've come to the conclusion there's too many utilities and too many other things that still have to get done. We will have to move the thing twice, and we just gotta bite the bullet and do it. So the go has started as far as to put the poles in and put the span wire up to get the signal. It's just, it's gotta get designed, and I can, get a contractor on board.
This may be a stupid question, but what about like timing the light somehow that this one on Carter and this one here, so we have a little bit of time?
Everybody wants everything, so,
I mean,
no,
like some kind of time so that, so that we. Is that possible?
it may not happen on day one, cause we focus on just getting it installed. So the added stuff is the additional temporary signals, don't lend themselves for good detection systems, and the automation that keeps things synced needs that, but we will give it a try. We will not, because the road's not done, we won't have the fiber optic that links the two signals so they can talk to each other. We will attempt to set up.
Too far, that's what I'm saying.
We will attempt to set up the wireless communications to try to make it do, but when all the detection systems off of span wires work, but not work as good as what comes off the mast arm, so where we can get good integrated systems. On day one, when that signal starts, I got low expectation on that coordination. We will get there, but it would be our focus on day one, okay? Did you get to 2, or did we get?
That's fine, he can go, yeah.
Okay, yes, sir.
I have a Band-Aid suggestion that churches and school zones have 20-mile-per-hour zones. Why could we not have a 20-mile-per-hour zone from Carter Road all the way down to the entrance to Publix? That would be in the area of 3. Twofold. Why could we not reduce that speed with flashing lights or whatever we need, the same as a school zone? Churches can afford that on Sunday, and the school's got traffic officers out there to enforce it. The intensity of the traffic leaving Regency Oaks at any time of the day, morning or the rush hour, either way, does not compare with the amount of the traffic that is zooming up and down Moccasin Wallow. Why couldn't we have a Band-Aid fix for maybe the next year till they get that resolved? What would the cost be so dangerous, so bad that you couldn't have a traffic officer out there? Nobody's coming up and down that street, especially if you got a 10-ton truck loaded.
I'm not tracking it. You trying to say Moccasin Wallow be 20 miles an hour?
No, you got people running under 60 mile an hour and you pull out doing the speed limit.
Well, I was gonna say, that's what 20 is now.
But I'm just saying, could you not have a zone
They
like
don't
that?
do 40, I mean, where the speed limit is now, so,
40 doesn't do it.
yeah, signs.
Reduce the speed and slow them down.
I haven't found a company that sells me a motion activated sign that whacks that dummy. I haven't found one of those yet.
I would be a traffic cop if I had.
The other bad news thing, if I would say it, so the other reason somebody I came up with, the Regency Oaks, who said, why do I have to wait so now? Without the development that came in on the north side, that was adding all the traffic that clearly was going on, you wouldn't have met Warren's on a road that had that much turning thing. It was the development that triggered the availability that you would justify a signal, to serve that. If it was just Regency Oaks, you still wouldn't be looking at a signal.
Without the building, we wouldn't need it.
So
Common sense.
Last question that I
Well,
do got,
maybe-
Regency Oaks sold off land out front of our neighborhood to accommodate the widening of the road.
Yep.
We're trying to plan to get out of your way for that, and with that, looking to see if we can get something to delineate a line or something like that for us to be able
talk
to
to me,
get our stuff
I'll
behind.
give you my card here and let's, see what you need, we'll get a surveyor out there and,
And, I'd
maybe
be
a
glad
stake or something for
to,
you.
maybe going to the sheriff's department and asking them.
Ricky doesn't work for us.
Well, but he wants for us,
Yeah.
so there's always that.
He gets the money from you.
That's right. So maybe having, because I've been asking for statistics on Moccasin Wallow Road. How many accidents are we having on Moccasin Wallow Road? You know, what's the cause of those accidents? Now I've got Buffalo Road to start worrying about because we're using it as a, get away from Moccasinwalla. We're looking at a hospital going up on Moccasinwalla Road. I've asked for some statistics in that area, that the good old fashioned traffic control with a cop there, that might help.
Well, listen, I'm warning you, you're leaving money on the table by not letting me write speeding tickets on them. Warning
Rick needs a new deputy.
I know,
program.
yeah,
Needs a new
we
deputy program.
actually, there are some communities that used to have, auxiliaries, and, where they were not, arresting officers, so to speak, what do you call it, the, citizens, yeah, well,
See how
listen,
fast you hit the brakes.
it's not the most, sometimes simple solutions versus technology, even if you parked a cop car sometimes, that has a lot of effect, without even having a body in it. And, but I have actually had some meetings coming up with Sheriff Wells, that's one of the things we're gonna be talking about is our traffic issues and what we could do as far as, law enforcement helps. It takes longer to build a road and to solve all of these things, where we have other ways to, maybe get people to calm down and act. I mean, it's, where it's not, I understand what your frustrations are, because it's not just the traffic, it's also what kind of traffic. It's when you have the dump trucks and the trailers and all the equipment. Buffalo Road, I'm starting to get the same complaints from Buffalo Road as we've been taking from Moccasinwalla Road, and how far we've gone with this. But I think isn't Buffalo Road still 40 miles? I think it's still 40 miles per hour.
Oh, you'll hear a lot more about it once we connect 60th to it.
Yeah,
Well,
and I have
Narrow
people
road,
that are
that's
like,
a very
why
narrow
don't you
road."
increase the speed limit on Buffalo Road to 60 miles an hour? I'm like, no.
It's too narrow.
It's too narrow for that, right?
Commissioner, I just wanna say, because right outside Moccasinwalla on that path over there, there's a Walmart that's gonna go there. And now on the other side of our development in Bayview, they wanna put a Home Depot over there, and they wanna put a Sam's Club there. They don't even have 4 lanes there now, and there's no, as a nightmare it is with 10,000 homes going from the 75 to there. Now you wanna put all this commercial, tractor trailers and everything, and deliveries, trying to, and refuge pickup down Moccasinwalla Road with only 4 lanes. It can't even support the residents by itself. Forget about when you add this Walmart and the Home
The
Depot.
residents want and need a Walmart,
They
and
need,
a Home Depot, and a Chick-fil-A,
but there's no infrastructure for it.
and an Olive Garden,
I don't think that one's,
and a water
that's a different
park.
place for that argument.
And-
I mean, so just because even if the commissioner agreed and she had bottomless money, because it hasn't even been designed yet, I mean, we're talking something 4 years away. Cause they would have to get through the board, budget the money, and get into the capital
We're in court
improvement
now,
project.
we're trying to-
We're in construction right now on what will be a very big improvement compared to what Moccasinwalla is right now today, and we need to finish that.
Would it be okay if I call a timeout on Regency for now? I'm incredibly empathetic with everything you guys are going through. I want to have a look at the other projects they've got working on too. If that's okay, I'd appreciate that.
So, another one, that was a big and very development related, but this is the epitome of the rules that Florida is left to deal with. Rye Ranch, it is all the land that's east of Rye Road, basically not quite north of the river, but north of the river south of 675. It's a 6,000 home plus area in there, being built by, a lot of internal roads are getting done. But the way the rules worked is they are participating with us in designing an improvement for Rye Road, basically from not quite the river, about a half a mile north of the Manatee River, from that point up north to 675. They're helping us design a 4-lane Rye Road. Our plan is to build 2 of those 4 lanes. We haven't yet completely decided on whether we'll have enough money to build the inside 2 lanes or the outside 2 lanes. The outside 2 lanes would require we have all the right of way. It's a difficult location. A lot of the land, the majority of the land will come from the development, which makes it easy, but there's enough of those neighborhoods that are right along the road that were, like 1 acre lots, people front the right road, and we didn't, those are gonna be painful, land acquisitions along there, so that may not happen. The most likely thing to happen would be middle 2 lanes, but it still requires a large cash commitment from the county, to get that done. But that's what's going on Rye Road. The intersection at 675 is the item that's the biggest interest, because the intersections are or probably more important of what's going on. There's lots of development going on north of 675. Rye Road is designed to extend to the north. It's designed to go all the way up to 62, technically a little bit north of 62. So the intent and the focus is the long-term best solution for the 675 and Rye Road is a roundabout. It isn't currently funded in the program as a roundabout. We are going to try to hold it together with the signal improvements and some turn lane improvements. You may see some north leg adjustments, because right now it kind of goes into Fox Brook. We probably have to realign that road to veer to the west a little bit to go north, where Rye Road will continue to extend, and the connection to Fox Brook might get severed as it goes through there. Along here is also, though, the intention is to get your sidewalk connections, and it may turn into a trail. The original alignment of the trail that was gonna head towards Hillsborough County was gonna go up Rye Road and in on Mulholland, and then work its way over to 675 along Mulholland, extended inside Rye Ranch. But because Rye Road is now going to go north to 62 much sooner than anything east out there where Mulholland was, we're thinking of shifting the trail to be along Rye Road, because it would allow us to get it constructed much sooner. And when I say trail, that's the oversized sidewalk, 12 feet, 14 feet, bike pedestrian way to try to go through there as well. I think it's getting down to almost the last one. Golf Course Road had been, a couple of years ago, been a super talked about area. Spencer Parish is the connection, if you've driven it once, you know about it, because it's just such an awkward connection off of Golf Course Road. Some people think we overdo it with roundabouts, but there is no good way where this development that's off screen over here for it to connect to. It had Jim Davis Road, a really substandard road that nobody really wanted to have connections to. So we were able to get them to have their primary entrance off of Spencer Parish, but the intersection at Spencer Parish Road and Golf Course Road is a horrible, oblique, terrible angled road here. So with this partnership of configuration, they're able to connect. We're actually able to pre-construct this, that if this ever got big enough, because Spencer Parish goes up to 62 as well, if it ever picked up enough traffic. We are now aligned. This is a much better visibility intersection, and it would function itself to be signalized at some point in the future. That's not what the intention is immediately. It just gets us with turn lanes and through lanes to be able to move forward. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
That's all right. The road there that's heading to the right, to the east, what is that
This?
connecting to?
I forgot the name of the Woodland Preserve or something. I knew it through when it went through the, it's the thing that's between Spencer Parish and Jim Davis on the north side of Golf Course Road. No, that's even further, that's on the other side of the creek. That's on the other side of Gamble Creek is where we bought the Cannon property. It was, I knew it as SM Ranch. It was, I think it's Woodlands Preserve is the name of the neighborhood. And another signal that some people are pretty anxious to see come forward at Harrison Ranch 301 Silverleaf. This one had to take a little bit of a morphine on. We were working with the developer. Two things are active right now. The east side of that intersection on the north side is all commercial. Storage place is built. Culvers and something else is under construction over there. And then on the west side, apartments just started clearing. They're gonna start construction there. The developer, through our partnership, they finished the design and they are like touching the permit from DOT. And I was asking, when are we gonna get this under construction? So This would be a job that the county will be paying to build, but the developer gave us the plan because they needed to do the plan so they could get their permit for their accesses from DOT. I expect construction to start in 26. This is not an easy build, but we found with all the overhead power lines there and the underground conflicts, because believe it or not, there's several sewer force mains that run through here. We just couldn't figure out a way to be able to install an interim signal. So we're going straight into mast arms. So this will be a little bit slower. When I say we're gonna get started in 26, if it's active, it would be late 26, probably before it's active, going on. And we're
That's
building.
another intersection where people are speeding and they're having trouble getting out.
The speed is terrible probably at that location, absolutely. If you don't do it in 2 stages, you better stop in the middle.
Better do the middle.
Stop in the middle. Oh, what was my other point I was gonna try to make? Within that, a lot of the work is on Harrison Ranch Boulevard itself, because right now it would be set up for a dual left turn in, for eastbound to northbound. So a lot of Harrison Ranch Boulevard gets widened, to accommodate that, some right turn lanes. I believe we're essentially making Harrison Ranch Boulevard 4 lanes from just south of 48th Street, 40 East, south to 301 within that job. So there's a lot of roadway job that goes on with the signal also on this project. So the commissioner had asked us to try to say how to help you fish, if there's updates on how to find information. And so I like the idea, and somebody will prove me wrong, but right now, IT helped me before I got here, so they should support me. So from the idea, one website to know, mymanatee.org. mymanatee.org. When you get there, this is what you see. Oh my gosh, where do I go? Don't worry about it. Go one place. Only go to the search bar. Only go to the search bar. 3 letters. CIP. And you should. I went to 4 different computers in the office today. I was hoping it wasn't my profile that was remembering it, because I go there so often.
Because you're sick of hearing from me.
You should get these 3 links as your top links, and I'm gonna go through each one of them. So with 3 letters, the search returns 3 different links. So different things that you might wanna see. The first site I'll show you is, it's a consolidated site for projects that have their own websites. So it's a link to get you to, Moccasin Wallow has its own page, Fort Hammer has its own page. So not every project has its own page, but this would be a link to get you to there. So that's where we'll go first. It has the standalone websites. When we have a standalone website page, you have the ability typically to follow that site. So you would share some information with that website, and it would email you when updates are made. Usually we post the construction plans, the design plans. If we held a public meeting, all the documents we presented at a public meeting are available from those sites. And also the actively managed site, like a Moccasin Wallow, like a Upper Manatee River Road. Every 2 weeks, the consultant, that's our public outreach coordinator, they send out a update, and those are all historically saved on that website. So if for some reason you showed up, hadn't been there in 3 months, you could read all the updates, and they would all be there at one time. That's the benefit of that page. Just so you knew if you got there, I mean, that was just a picture of, that's what that means. It's, unless you're trying to get to one of those individual project pages, it's not critical, but I was just saying it's one of the things that helps us. The next thing, that this is your biggest self-service for anything that's a project that the county does. I will focus a bit on the transportation side. We call it our dashboard. So if you click, oh, by the way, dearly beloved, I recommend doing this from a computer, not your phone.
Oh, yeah, you can't see.
It will look very different. It will work, but it will look very different than this and not
Because they have
feel
to get everything
comfortable.
onto that small screen.
Yeah, it just
You can't
will.
see it half the time anyway. This is why when we have town halls, you'll always see us using the big screen and using these kind of things. It's nice to have it on the phone, but it doesn't.
It's not pleasant. So if you go to the dashboard, that's what it looks like when you get there. It's like more information than you ever cared about. But I'll focus on transportation. The biggest thing that you have, there was a drop down here. So there was a little arrow, and this would be the categories. I mean, this is what I'm saying. You can't, I ain't expecting you to read wastewater, transportation, stormwater, solid waste, potable water, I mean, general government, so it's the big thing. So what I'm gonna show you is just when I select the, transportation side. If you just select transportation, that's the only thing. It went from 600 and something or other to 145 projects. And then from there, you can just use the map to zoom in on what you're interested in. I do wanna say, play with it a little bit, because the number that it shows on the side corresponds to what you're looking at in the map. So as you start to zoom in on the map, that number will be dropping, because it's gonna recalculate everything that's over there. Once you get in there, you can select on an individual dot. It will bring the project details stuff over here. I say, the most valuable thing that comes when you actually click on one is this link that is in this side over here is access to the project sheet. This is the no dicker ticker. This is the page that's in the capital improvement plan that was adopted by the board. And I'll just show you what one of those looks like. So, I mean, that is at the time of the adopted 25-29, which is obviously out of date, because we got a new budget last time. Doesn't go into effect until October 26th, but you'll see the same type of information will be there. And it just shows you what we're planning funding wise, what funding exists. Most of it, some of it shows up in 26, appropriated to date 14 million. But I mean, that's a really useful piece, because I use it anyway, because I wanna know, our cost estimate just came in, how much money's actually in the budget. I go there real quick, because it's just too easy for me to look. The other one, if you just wanna know too much information, or you're insomnia, the official, this will be getting updated in the next couple of weeks. This is the actual full, the adopted plan. So like, where the heck are they spending all my money? So this is the whole plan. And that's the link right there. So if you click on the link, that's the cover page.
Glossy pages.
That's a beautiful glossy page. But this is what I meant, 951 pages. It's more than you ever care about, but it's the whole printed thing. So when I say the transportation, the sewer, the water, there's an overpage of each section, and then there's the details that goes with every project that's in each one of those sections. That's a PDF that's always available on your website. That's what I always said was the three most important things that could self-help you. How do you get there? Manatee.org. 3 words, CIP, 3 letters, CIP. And pray it works when you go try it tonight. Because it should be the same 3 links, because I think they've indexed those to make sure the website works that way. And that's all I had today. And sorry to get.
But go to that informative page, that's the one that's not that one. That one.
The project sheets.
That's what I usually refer to. If you call me up about the project, well, Selena doesn't have to be in front, she does a lot of this. And, but we've tried like sending you back links and things like that to keep up with it. But a lot of times, you know, we can tell you, well, this is gonna cost this much money, and it's not gonna get done until such and such a date. That's basically where we're at, you know, and, taking part in the budget, this was of course my first year, so I had a lot of questions about things. And, the way that I proposed it to everyone was, I know what my citizens are saying, but I've gotta be able to explain to you guys what is and is not possible. And like I said, we've had a tremendous amount of growth in District 1, in this area here. We are not a state that if you were asking some questions about why would the developer fix, you know, all the roadways inside of their subdivision before they actually completed the street outside? Well, because you've gotta sell those homes.
But those homes aren't gonna be even built for 2 or 3
Yeah,
years.
who cares? It's Florida. But that's really how that works, you know, they complete what they have to sell before what they complete what people need to use. Does that make sense? And we've lost a lot of that. So the main thing you could do is, always practice safe driving. Nothing is that important. I have a running joke with Dr. Bob McCann, our Commissioner of District 5, that his district is trying to kill me because I have to go through, I start off in District 1, then I go through District 5, and just through District 3. So I go through 3 different districts of traffic. And I really think that Bob's people are trying to.
I'm on the hit list too,
Yeah,
don't worry.
she's on the hit list too. So we
You're,
have to
you're
have.
driving the, under construction roundabouts
Well,
on State Road 70.
I
so
always
those
take
are-
my
it's-
choice.
it's 64 and you
It's
are.
64 and 70, and they were doing such a beautiful job on 70. Coming, they're 4-laning 70 and putting 7 roundabouts in 70. And it was like, it was really the most beautiful FDOT, you know, they had 2 lanes that were working and 2 lanes that worked. It was great until they got to District 1. And I think they went, you know, they'll figure it out. We have a roundabout that looks more like a snake
It's an interim.
instead of a roundabout at Bourneside. Bourneside and Yulee have been closed more than they've been open since we built them. So safe driving is a must. I am gonna get with our sheriff to see if he could give us a little bit more of a handle with our, with guiding our traffic and being out there. We have speeding, you know, speeding is an issue, reckless driving is an issue. I get every call, every traffic accident that happens in District 1, I usually know about it. And we've got a lot on Moxonwalla, that's why I've asked for maybe some good old fashioned traffic cops.
Don't we
park a-
understand though, is it the lack of enforcement? Because I heard a lot of that, because like I said, we're new, I've been here a few
The
months.
lack of enforcement.
Oh, yeah, is that it?
Well, when your roads are so crowded that even if you wanted, you know what I mean, the roads are so crowded that even if you wanted to have some of those controls, there's not even room enough for the, how many cop cars did we see coming here tonight?
Like 6?
Yeah, so they're out here. Thank you, Tom. So,
Speeding is not a uncommon issue. If you went to every HOA meeting, I would assume every HOA meeting has speeding concerns or cut-through traffic
We
concerns.
drive
I
race
mean,
every weekend on Moxonwalla near Regency Oaks.
Well,
yeah,
the
I
other
would
thing
say,
is-
I think I was counting one weekend, how many accidents on.
I hear sirens every day.
Well,
Yeah.
Moxonwalla
Every
used to be
single day.
55 miles an hour, right?
Uh,
Was it 55 or 60?
Well, can you,
They changed it.
but remember, you're getting, like, when you talk about getting a Walmart, getting a Home Depot, getting those things out there, that's what you said you wanted, right?
No, nobody said that, nobody asked us, nobody asked us, nobody asked us. You know, it's pretty interesting.
up by the
Did you
highway.
say that there's nothing to do in
Nope.
Parish?
No.
There's no decent
No,
places
hello.
to eat? You wanted more parks, you wanted.
Entertainers.
Exactly, that's why we moved to Regency Oaks.
All up by the 75, all by the.
No, we didn't.
All the emails I get about wanting pickleball courts.
Those are people that just moved here.
Well,
That's people that just moved here, 'cause it's interesting.
We're gonna have to have a countywide, like a decathlon or something, and each district gets a sport.
Before we started to develop these, they were gonna let the community come in and make it a nice little, that shouldn't happen, they were gonna get our input.
That's something